Time for part 14 of my soda can sculpture collection. First up, we have the NCC 1701D from the Next Generation. Once again, all of these sculptures you see are made out of soda cans, glue, and paint. This was a difficult project because to start off, I wasn't sure how to make the saucer section because it is oval, but I decided to make it in sections like pie slices. And by doing that with the bottom, as you can see, it kind of worked out. It's not perfect. I originally wanted the nacelles to light up. I know how I can do it. I just put so much into making this project, I abandoned that idea. I really wish I didn't have to have this support, but the saucer section is so heavy. But I think ultimately when it sits on my shelf, it's a really good addition to my collection. Here we have Apollo 11. I grew up loving the space program. Fascinated me. I wanted this in my collection for the longest time. One of the substantial challenges of this build was finding reference material to get proper scale and understanding of what you're looking at. There are so many different angles and unique pieces. This unit has no symmetry really whatsoever to speak of. Like, you might think that the bottom is merely an octagon, but you'll notice that the lengths of many of the sides are completely different, making this a very challenging build. It was really interesting for me to recreate the foiling, and I think that really brought this project together. Also trying to recreate the insulation on the lander legs, even leaving some of the crude appearance, such as this kind of chattered look on the panels. In the pictures, that's what I noticed, so I went ahead and included that. The Apollo 11 lander certainly was not beautiful, and it absolutely was one of those form follows function type of pieces of machinery, and it did fantastic. And I am super thrilled to have this in my collection. And wrapping this up, I have two kind of throwaway projects. This one I liked back when I made it early in my building. It's not quite as detailed as I would like. I really should go recreate this, but this is a starfighter from the television show Buck Rogers. It was a pretty cool ship when I was a kid. And while I was making it, I decided I had room in the case, so I went ahead and I whipped up a quick Battlestar Galactica Viper just for the collection. Both of these are really early era of my sculpting, and I don't really love them, but I'll keep them for now. There are a number of things I could have done to make this look nicer. Like nowadays, I would have recessed the cockpit windows. I also would have probably put bands of metal, then painted them so it gave them texture. Also put strips of metal onto the thrust nozzles to give it better look. This thing kind of fell apart once I dropped it. It broke apart, and since I custom mixed this color, I wasn't able to quite touch it up yet. But since this is an early era project, I'm not really too worried about it. As you can see, it's kind of crude on the bottom, but they do sit in my collection and remind me of some of the TV shows I watched as a child. So once again, you've seen these 4 shelves. We still have all of this to go. So follow me, add me if you're interested in this type of art. Thanks.